Yard sale time. $6. I got a gasifying wood stove. Similar to the big solo units that people have for fire pits. It's got some legs on it that can fold out. But I'm not sure if everything's here. Maybe you can clue me in. We've got this, which obviously has a handle on it. We've got this piece. Oh, something else, that's for another video. So, gasifier stoves work by burning all the gas that wood creates and kind of changing the dynamic to burning mostly gas rather than the wood itself. Now, it's constructed in a certain way with a certain ratio of, there's actually two containers, you could say, here, and they have holes placed all the way around. But in this configuration, if you put something in here and light it, eventually it will be flame with no smoke, and at the end you'll have practically nothing for ashes. Now there's a ridge down here, so I'm thinking, and I looked online and I couldn't find one just like this. Evidently there are a bunch of these. This is stainless steel, but non-branded, so you don't know what it is. This looks like a top. Fits snugly down on that little shelf. So I'm thinking that this is the way it actually is supposed to run. Now this fits in this way, or it could fit in this way. But my problem with this idea is that if you put a pan directly on here, it could cover up all the air holes. So you wouldn't want that. So I'm wondering if there's a grate that's missing for the top, or we could do this other configuration where we put the wood directly on the bottom of the stove and then light it, put this in this way, and then we could put the top like that. And it's obviously made to store like this because it fits in perfectly that way. So I guess, could we run it in this configuration? I'm not quite sure. Am I missing a piece? I'm not quite sure, but maybe you know. Fill me in here below, and we'll get, I'm sure it will run like this, but I guess I'm just thinking that, you know, with this in here, down here, that we'll have to have something on the top, some type of grate, so that you can put your pan down and or pot and cook, still adding plenty of airflow. I've seen like some stoves have another ring here. It has holes all around it, and then a bigger hole. And that bigger hole is for you to keep feeding sticks in. And what I've read about these is they're not really ideal for hiking if you want to eat and move on quickly, because what happens is these get really hot. And so you stoke it up, you get the fire going, you do your cooking, and then you're not going to be picking this up and putting it back in your backpack or anything. So this is more, I would think, a camp stove, or you know you're going to be somewhere for a length of time. That way you can let it burn down, cool down, and then put it away. And I guess basically these only have one heat, high, so you can't simmer something, and you'd have to be careful cooking something on it. But I was going to make one of these once, and for $6, this is tremendous. They have some of these stoves. You can buy them for $20 even. But like I say, I haven't figured out yet. Like I say, this could go down below to hold the wood, to give it a good chunk of airspace here. But I'm not sure if that top piece is missing or not. And I've looked around, and some of the stoves are quite different. But what is sort of different about this is the holes are all at a diagonal. And that holes, let me see if it holds true. Yeah, the holes on the inside too are at a diagonal. So that might be a clue to what brand this is. And maybe it was never sold by a brand. It could have been always, kind of, well, I shouldn't say that. It's never marked on here, but you certainly could put it in a box with a brand name. It came with this little pouch to put it in, and it doesn't have a brand name either. And I tried doing some searching, and I kind of came up, there were tons of stoves, but it didn't lead me to the idea of exactly if this is complete, or if there are a piece missing, a grate or something like that. But I bought it just like this. It was in the thing, and I assume it's all here, but like I say, it looks like it needs a grate. Tell me what you think below. And one of the things I did was I went on Outdoor Gear Review. Is a channel that really, if you're going to buy anything to do with anything for outside camping or hiking, you definitely should check his channel out. He buys things. I don't know how he can afford to buy them. He has no sponsors, and he takes no money to test things. And consequently, he's not obliged to say that the product is good. If someone sends you a free product, there's always part of you that's saying, well, I'm going to give this the best review I can because maybe they'll send me something else. You're being paid. If they send it to you and you keep it, you're being paid. And that can influence your decision. And even like in Amazon or something, you have to acknowledge that you were paid when you do a review. Or even in YouTube, you should acknowledge that it's been sent to you. So let's just pretend that was $60, that stove. Well, that means I got that value of $60 that I don't have to spend, and that would be payment. And but there we go. Tell me what you think, and we'll fire it up. We've got plenty of twigs in the yard, I guess, or wood, and some people use pellets, so that would be interesting to try pellets. Bye.